Okay, time to put the brakes back together. I already went ahead and did the rear caliper. It's pretty easy. There's really not a lot to it. One last thing I want to mention about the rear brake caliper. Two things. One, there's a little spring clip, right? There's two spring clips. This one here, which I didn't need to replace. The old one was actually decent, but I thought they came as a set, so I ordered new one. I thought I ordered new ones, but I got just this one here. The other one is actually not listed in the Suzuki parts listing. And of course the old one was heavily worn. It was worn through in spots, and where it wasn't worn through, it was pretty heavily mangled. So yeah, I had to replace it. But again, since it wasn't listed in the Suzuki's parts listing, I wasn't sure what to do. So I took a look at the, I believe it was a 2001 Honda CR125 rear brakes, and just to see what it looked like. And it looked pretty close, if not identical. So anyways, I thought, well, let's take a gamble on the CR125 and see just if the clip, if the brake pad clip, if that will fit from a CR125. So it was a $10 gamble, give or take. And anyways, it worked. It worked perfectly. It's the exact same part. If you're doing one of these bikes and you need that part, and you probably will, look at the CR125 brake caliper parts listing and get that one. The front one, yeah, the same is not true. Fortunately, the front spring was not worn through, so I was able to reuse that, fortunately. The only other thing I wanted to mention about this rear brake caliper is I wound up replacing the piston, because the old one was pretty badly stuck in there, so I obviously mangled it getting it out, which is fine. I mean, I probably would have just replaced the piston anyway. The piston is kind of cup-shaped. Kind of give you an example here. I guess I wish I didn't pick something transparent. So yeah, so it's open on one end and closed on the other. Make sure you put it in the caliper, closed end into the caliper, so that the open end makes contact with the brake pad. Because if you don't and you put it in backwards, you're going to have a hell of a time bleeding your brakes. You might never get all the air out of this pocket that you've created in there. Okay, so that's enough about the rear brakes. So this is done. This is going in the pile. On to the front brakes. Caliper, bracket, slider pins, new pistons. Two pistons on the front, one on the rear. New brake pads, bleeder screw, spring. Actually, this is the other spring I was talking about here that I was able to reuse. I kind of already went ahead and put this on because I had to bend the tabs so it would clip on. Caliper rebuild kit. Well, I got two here, and I'll explain why in a second. Waterproof grease, I don't know why this is here. This will likely not get used. Thread locker, blue. Actually, the manual suggests a thread locker that is not as strong, I guess. But I guess what I did with the rear was I just put a little tiny drop on, just to, you know, say that I got something on there. I got some leftover silicone brake grease, lubricant, whatever, from when I did the brakes in my truck. So don't see any reason why this wouldn't work alright. Some anti-seize, always handy. Don't like things rusting or seizing. And of course some dot 4 brake fluid. So I got two different caliper rebuild kits. The Tusk kit was the first kit that I bought. I cracked it open and found that this one has 3 piston seals and 1 dust seal. You can actually get seal kits. I could not get one for the front. Just bought another caliper rebuild kit. I want to have a look at the all balls kit here. Everything looks good, except two items here. This is a bleeder screw cover. Looks ridiculously small. I'm not going to use that. I am going to use the Tusk one. I know it fits because it's the same one that went on the rear. This slider boot. I'm going to poach this one from the Tusk kit and not use the all balls one, so I will set those aside. Everything else in the all balls kit looks good though. The crush washers, neither set's going to get used. I got some new brake lines. Trying to think what it is. Core Moto. They have all the crush washers that would go on all the banjo bolts there. So I'm going to use those ones instead. Keep these as backups. One thing I forgot to mention. One thing I did do off camera is I chased all the threads, the caliper and bracket. If you have parts that are going to wind up getting some thread lock on them, it's kind of important to clean up the threads. You don't have to buy a thread chaser kit. You could just take a extra bolt that you have. For God's sake, make sure it's the right thread. Clean it up. Take a cutting implement. I think I used a rotary tool with a little cutoff wheel on it. Cut some grooves in it there. And yeah, there you go. Works great. I mean, actually I think that this works better than the thread chaser kit. I could be wrong, but I feel like I've kind of started dulling those threads already. This is an M6 by 1. M meaning it's metric, 6 is the diameter, 1 is the thread pitch. This is probably 90% of everything on the bike. It's a good idea to wear some gloves when you're handling brake fluid. Wear eye protection, stay safe. So the first thing, of course, you need to do is to put the piston seals into the caliper. Just get a little bit of fluid. Just gonna rub that on there. Just take that and 2 ring grooves in there. One for the piston seal, and the inner one is for the piston seal. The other one is for the dust seal. Yeah, it's not as difficult getting those things in as you would think. Oh, I suppose I should have put a little bit of brake fluid in the bore here. Now let's get the dust seals in there now. I'd also like to mention the I've seen in a bunch of different locations, probably in the manual, I'm guessing. It's heavily emphasized: do not use gasoline, different sort of cleaning agents to clean your brake parts. I think that they say that because they're worried that people will use something, be it gasoline or Firesol, I don't know, some kind of cleaning agent to clean out your brake parts, and then just start assembling the brakes. I, however, believe that you can use whatever you want as long as it's not the last thing that you use. For example, I used a degreaser, I believe, as my first cleaning method. Actually, they wound up, all the aluminum parts wound up going into Media Blaster. They've seen brake cleaning fluid, chlorinated, non-chlorinated, I don't know. After I used the last cleaning agent, I then used hot soapy water to clean whatever the last cleaning agent was that I had on there. It's aluminum. They're aluminum parts, so you're not going to damage aluminum with like brake cleaner or degreaser or gasoline, even, whatever. Again, but as long as you wash it off with hot soapy water. And then dry it, of course. Compressed air, or just let it air dry, whatever. It'll be fine. That's my theory. Now, okay, with these pistons, it's dished on one side and flat on the other. The dished end goes inside. The shiny silver bit is what makes contact with the brake pad. Lubricate with a little brake fluid. Pop this guy in there. He's going to be a little hard going in. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, I strongly urge against using tools to make that happen. If you have to get out the vise or a clamp or vice grips, I don't know. If you have to get out any kind of tool, take a step back, look what's going on, because something's binding up. You should be able to pop that in by hand. Okay, see? Easy peasy. Clean off any surplus brake fluid. I'm going to lube up some of these parts here. Facing this way. Try to jam that thing in. Come on, guy. Oh, yeah. That was about one of the hardest things that you would have to do with this job. If you can get that little rubber boot in there, the rest of the job is cake. Next boot goes right there. Which end goes in the bracket? Well, there's a little tiny, oh, you can't see it, little tiny ridge on this side. That little ridge goes in there. And I'm going to facilitate that with some lube. Maybe I'll do that. It's kind of hard to see here. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Okay, so this clip I don't even really know what this thing does, to be honest. It's a spring, sorry, it's a spring. And it goes in here, and you can tell where it clips in. The brake pad slider pin is, it kind of goes in here. Yeah, it clips onto that end there. I just capped off the brake line hole just to keep dust dirt out. Okay, so both springs are on. Okay, now oh yeah, this guy. Yes, I'm not going to make the same mistake twice. This slider pin I'm going to put on last. Put that at with the brake pads. Shake up the thread lock a little bit. Just a little drop here. Little drop. Okay. This gets torqued down to 23 Newton meters. There we go. Again with the thread locker. This one gets torqued to 9.5 foot-pounds. There we go. So now, time to lube up those pins. Let's put these two guys together. Alright. Okay. Okay, let's try to clean up the surplus grease before we get the brake pads in there. Okay, there you have it. One front brake caliper rebuilt. Okay, I know it was remiss of me to not record the assembly of the master cylinders, but it took me a real long time. I mean, I was being real methodical about it, and I didn't want to get any dirt or debris inside, and part of the reason why it took me so long is I was dropping stuff like crazy, so that really slowed things down. So I'll try to give a little overview of what's going on in here. Once you've got the master cylinder completely disassembled, and you just have the reservoir left, you should have a master cylinder rebuild kit, and this is what your typical master cylinder rebuild kit's going to contain. Not always, of course. Not every master cylinder is the same, but this is a typical rebuild kit here. I think a lot of them might have everything here except for the piston, which is fine because I don't think the piston would normally receive a lot of wear. You could conceivably get away with reusing that easily enough. Actually, you could probably get away with reusing everything here except for the most important thing to replace here, of course, are the seals and the dust boot. And of course, every time you remove a snap ring, you should always replace that in case you wind up giving it a little twist or damaging it in some way. But yeah, the piston and the spring and the washer, I mean, you could reuse the originals easily enough. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to take these seals, well, one at a time, of course. Notice, okay, this is where they go. One seal goes here. Notice that's a thicker part of the shaft than this one here. The other one goes here. This is a smaller part. So the one with the smaller hole obviously goes here. That's easy enough to fit over this end. Of course, you should coat it liberally with brake fluid. This seal here with the larger inner hole will go in this spot here, and I put it over this end because you only have this one big bump to get over. Now they're flared or tapered. I'm not sure which would be the right word to describe them. Put them on so that the wider end faces this end of the piston. So the smaller end will be facing this end. Yeah, I wish we could get a side view of those seals. But yeah, anyways, you get the idea. They're tapered. Yeah. Flared. Yeah, I think flared's a better word. Okay, so anyways, once you get the seals, those two seals in place, the next thing you're going to want to do is put this spring onto the piston. Small end of the spring on this end of the piston. It'll fit in like a glove. It'll be pretty obvious once you get it on there. And then that goes into the part of the master cylinder that's under the reservoir right here. That's the end of it. Anyways, so yeah, put it into the housing, large end of the spring first, and this will be poking out of the end. First, put the washer over this end, and then compress, pushing on this end, compress it enough so that the washer will go past the groove for the snap ring, and hopefully you've got a decent pair of snap ring pliers. You can hook onto that and clip it into that groove where it belongs, and then you're going to want to put the dust boot on. The big end is going to be resting up against your snap ring, and you can probably get away with using a small flathead screwdriver. Just kind of press that in gently. This end here is going to seat into this end of the piston. And there you have it. That's all there is to doing a master cylinder rebuild. That of course was, so we're looking at the front there. The rear is almost identical. Very little difference there. It's a pretty easy job. I mean, if you got an old master cylinder, you really should rebuild it. I mean, it's not a super expensive kit. I mean, I think this one here cost me a little over $60. I mean, it's worth it for the peace of mind knowing that your brake's going to work properly. Oh, and these seals here, I dropped a lot. Now, the best way I found to get them on is to use a pick, something like this here. Just be real careful you don't damage them with the pointy end. Let's take a second here to just do a before and after here. So of course this is before shots are pretty nasty looking whole master cylinder. The cloudy sight glass, I believe it's all like micro cracked. Anyways, here of course is the end result. Lighting in here does not do this justice. Yeah, looks pretty good. There you have it.